question is, do I continue the project? Oh, the guys are here with me. Here we are. Say hi. Silka, Buttercup. Yo. That's the carriers. I have nowhere to stay on here bar the containers at the moment. The landlord, we've had to fight for every type of accommodation, which resulted in the death of one of our rescue rabbits at one point because we were stuck in a container with a couple and 2 rabbits. It's been a massive struggle, this project. It needn't have been, but the conditions were never met that were initially agreed. I've never had a budget. I have to go through somebody else to get anything done. So I spend all my money on fixing stuff, doing stuff. Now, I'm at risk. My things are at risk. What I've got left after this gutless, pathetic arson attack. And the animals are at risk. Now, the main reason for me ever wanting to continue in this place and continue what I'm doing, apart from what I've already set up, which has taken tremendous blood, sweat and tears to put together. We have the largest hugelkultur bed, 6 large ponds, hugelkultur systems to control water, wind, create heat, mycelium network, so on and so forth, hugelkultur terraces, some wonderful trees that are a few years down the line, which is great, a hell of a tree stock when I go through the plant list, which I will in another installment. You okay, guys? Yeah? You okay? Cool. So yeah, 6 major ponds, some fitted with passive release swale systems. This is what I would be teaching, each pond different, each microclimate slightly different, add with artwork, no animal usury in any form. I don't have anything to do with the bees. Bees nothing to do with me. Bees are with the landlord and another guy who's set up in the field next door. I need 150 more plus pollinators. Bees are one, you know. Where's the publicity for the rest of them? What's going on? Anyway. My main reason for continuing on this project seems to be shifting. When I started, it's simply to create an abundant system that we can move away from the systems we have in place at the moment, which are taking advantage of us. But I actually think now, after spending 4 years in the field, that with the wildlife, the prey animals, and an environment that's stacked against them because of our interference in the creation of fields where there should be forests, my job's just to tailor those forests so they adapt to every living thing that needs it, and so it doesn't deplete. It's endless, it's continuous, it's perpetual, it's indomitable. But now I think I should do it for the wildlife. I could redesign with what I've learned, and I would be anyway, into the system, pathways. I've been so sensitive to their conditions, to what needs to be done. And also so they don't take your prime produce and you've got it and they've still got what they want. This is abundance. There's enough for all. It's the groundworks and stuff that you need to do to ensure that it's there permanent and indestructible and compatible. So, watching the heron down there, that's the heron that attacked these guys. I have a couple on the land, I recognise them all. You get so in tune, three-dimensional. It's harder then to deal with a two-dimensional world. The deeper you go and immerse yourself in nature and immerse yourself in the systems of nature and how they interact with the systems that you're installing, and that's the great experience I draw from this particular project, because I've done it all myself, and it's only been me that the animals have had to get used to. Whether I'm driving a digger or not, they don't seem to care then. They get used to me. Well, they do care, but you know, I can clanger around and they come to me rather than run from me. Anyway, prey animal environment. I hardly see any rabbits. They come in where they get extinguished very, very quickly. For instance, it's a prey animal. Your predator animal has the perfect environment: open fields, rest of the wildlife clinging on by the hedgerows, which the hedgerows here have now turned into the big trees. That's what happens when you leave a hedgerow alone and don't run those tractors brutally over it. But we are so far removed as a culture from our connection to nature, and we've got so much to learn, and it's endless. And our binary arrogance, thinking that we're on the cutting edge when all we can do, science you can boil down mostly to heat things up, cool things down, and see what happens. Most major discoveries and changes are done either by mistake or determination. So this project, really, I would certainly at least tailor more, if not want to work on one that is completely dedicated to combining the species, creating abundance, and encouraging that we need to start looking at smaller communities. The optimum environment for animals is quite specific on every animal. Some like to be alone, some need a group of average of 10, some need an average of hundreds. But that's their pack security, and that's their natural and optimum living environment. Human beings, apparently, the average is 300, because 300 people you can know. In a society of 300, you have everybody to cater for every particular instance, and if not, you would. That's when inter-tribal marriages went on, and agreements and trades, which were discovered at festivals and fairs. It wasn't all fighting, as we're taught. Our history's so different. All this modern agriculture of destroying the planet, all this ridiculous meat eating, which has been promoted by one of the largest lobbies on the planet from its inception. And no, it's not natural. No, we're not hunter-gatherers in the sense that we've been taught. I wouldn't say there's a spiritual angle. Some people may call it that. I would say it's more It's more hardwired, it's more core. And that's what we have to rediscover. And that's what this project's about. But I'm going to tailor it more in the future, if ever I do anything more. Because this may all just collapse now. I'm going to tailor it a lot more to the wildlife. I am going to make them feel like at least one human, me, treats them with the reverence, respect, dignity they deserve. I feel responsible for these guys. I built the ponds. They've never been finished, so they're not all holding water as they should yet. So they've moved in before it's finished. And I've not been able to finish them because I've not had machinery that works in the whole time I've been here. Fiona thinks he's clever, so he makes decisions. Anybody tried running a business like that? Don't work. But I've gone at it anyway because nobody's doing it and it needs to be done. But I may be at the end. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's my next installment. Say goodbye to these guys. Hello. Hello. Yes. Oh, look at that black and white. You're growing up, aren't you, Silica? Buttercup. Here's Buttercup. Oh. Yes. See you on the next time.